Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm answering one of the most common questions I get. How can I learn German quickly? Ideally up to a B2 level. But before we dive into the detail, let's talk about why learning German is important and where it's absolutely necessary. If you're planning to live, study or work in Germany, you might wonder, do I really need to speak German? While English is widely spoken in many industries and in big cities like Berlin, Frankfurt, Munich, there are key areas where German is indispensable. And first is finding a job. In healthcare, for example, if you are aiming for jobs like nursing or medicine, German proficiency at B1, B2 level is mandatory. You'll need it not just for patient communication, but also for professional recognition and licensing. Number two is customer facing roles. Jobs in tourism, in hospitality, logistics, and retail often require strong German skills since you'll interact directly with clients. 97% of job postings in Germany require at least some German fluency, while there are exceptions like IT or multinational companies. Competition for English only jobs is fierce. Another case where you might need speaking German is studying in Germany. For example, bachelor degrees. Most undergraduate programs in Germany are taught in German, so proficiency at B2 level or higher is usually required. When it comes to master's programs, they are mostly offered in English, but knowing German can still help with integration and networking opportunities while studying. And the third case where you need to speak German is getting permanent residency or citizenship. If you plan to stay long term, or learning German isn't optional, it's mandatory. To apply for permanent residency or citizenship, you'll need to provide proof of B1 or B2 level proficiency and pass a citizenship test that covers basic laws and culture of Germany, and it's all conducted in German language. Now let's talk why learning German matters. Even if you can get by with English initially, speaking German opens doors to better job opportunities, to deeper cultural understanding, and smoother integration into society. So, if you're serious about building a life in Germany, investing time in learning the language is essential. And here is a question for you guys. What are some of the most surprising situations where you found speaking German to be absolutely necessary or beneficial? Maybe it was during a job interview, or while traveling, or even just making friends at a local cafe. Please share your stories in the comments below. We'd love to hear about your experiences and learn from each other. Now that we have established the importance of German, let me share my personal journey of learning it and how you can reach a B2 level as quickly as possible. I managed to reach a B2 level in German in about 2 years, but here is the catch: it wasn't easy or quick. It took consistent effort and the right approach, of course. What worked for me is that I studied linguistics at the university. It was my first bachelor, and I was lucky enough to have a very strong teacher who spoke like a native German speaker. She made grammar the absolute focus of our studies during the first year, and honestly, that was like a game changer. Grammar might not sound exciting, but it's a backbone of any language, especially German. Once you understand how German grammar works, everything else, speaking, listening, writing, becomes so much easier. Here is my main point. If you want to learn German as fast as possible, you need a great teacher. Ideally someone who is either a native speaker or speaks at a native level. Why? Because they'll teach you how the language really works, not just textbook phrases, but the actual structure and nuances of German. German grammar can feel overwhelming at first because of things like cases. They have 4 cases: nominative, accusative, dative, and genitive. They have gendered nouns and also word order rules, especially very structured order in the sentences. But trust me, once you master these foundational concepts, you'll start seeing patterns everywhere. And when that happens, learning becomes much faster and more intuitive. In my case, I spent nearly an entire year focusing on grammar before moving on to the other skills like speaking and listening. And that was a solid foundation, and it allowed me to progress quickly afterwards. But I also have to mention that because I come from Russia and Russia is one of my native languages, it was easy for me to master the grammar of German, because Russian grammar with its 6 cases is even more complicated. So for those of you who speak other languages which do not belong to Latin group of languages, to German group of languages, you might need to consider even longer time to master the German grammar. So let's talk about the timelines, because I know many of you wondering how long will it take me to reach B2. My honest answer, there is no shortcut. It took me 2 years of consistent study to get there. If you're super dedicated and immerse yourself fully, taking intensive classes with native speaking teachers, practicing daily, maybe with private tutor, you might be able to do it in 1.5 years. But realistically, 2 years is a good benchmark, I would say. And what do I mean by intensive? It means daily classes. So ideally 3-4 hours per day with focus on grammar in the beginning. Then you have to immerse yourself in the language, surround yourself with German as much as possible, watch movies, listen to podcasts, read the books. Speaking practice, you have to join language exchanges or conversation groups where you can practice speaking regularly. You have to immerse yourself in native environment. If possible, spend time in Germany or in a German-speaking country. It helps immensely. Here are some practical tips based on my experience. First, find the right teacher. As I mentioned earlier, having a strong teacher makes all the difference. Look for someone who knows how to explain grammar clearly and can push you out of your comfort zone. Number 2, focus on grammar first. Don't skip this step. Spend at least 6 months deeply understanding how cases work, how sentence structure rules work, verb conjugations, and etc. Number 3, immerse yourself in the language. Even if you're not living in Germany yet, create a mini German environment around yourself. Watch German TV shows or YouTube channels, listen to music or podcasts in German. Finally, change your phone's language settings to German. Number 4, practice speaking early. Once your grammar foundation is solid, after about 6 months, start practicing speaking regularly, even if it feels awkward at first. Number 5, use apps to practice with natives. If you can't practice in Germany directly with native speakers through courses or immersion programs, apps like Busuu, Tandem, and HelloTalk are fantastic alternatives. Busuu offers a community where you can interact with native speakers who correct your exercises. Tandem connects you directly with native speakers for live language exchanges via text or video. And HelloTalk works similarly but focuses on creating meaningful conversations between learners and natives. So let's wrap it up. If your goal is to learn German quickly up to a B2 level or even beyond, it's absolutely possible with dedication and the right approach. But remember, there is no magic formula or shortcut. It takes time, at least 1.5 years of intensive study and consistent effort. If I had to summarize everything into one piece of advice, invest in a strong teacher who knows how to teach grammar effectively, and immerse yourself as much as possible in the language. I hope this video gave you some clarity on what it takes to learn German efficiently. Don't forget my earlier question: what surprising situations have made you realize how important speaking German is? Drop your answers in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content about language learning and living abroad. Viel Erfolg beim Deutsch lernen. Tschüss.